Living off the grid requires full independence from traditional utilities, and electricity is one of the most essential elements. Powering your home without relying on the grid means creating a system that generates, stores, and conserves energy. Solar panels are the most common option because they're reliable, renewable, and relatively easy to install. They can be mounted on rooftops or open ground, depending on your sunlight exposure. But solar alone isn't always enough. Cloudy days, storms, and winter months can all limit solar output. That's why it's smart to integrate a hybrid system that includes wind turbines or even small hydro generators if you have access to a flowing water source. An off-grid power system also depends on having a reliable battery bank. Deep cycle batteries store energy for use during the night or low sun periods, and you'll need a charge controller and inverter to safely manage the electricity flow. Generators, either gas or propane, powered, should also be available as a backup source for emergencies or high-demand periods. However, generating power is only half the equation. The other half is reducing how much you use. Living off-grid teaches you to be highly conscious of energy consumption. Replacing old appliances with energy-efficient models, using LED lighting, unplugging unused devices, and cooking with propane or wood can dramatically reduce your load. Planning your energy needs based on actual usage is critical. Make a list of all the devices you depend on, calculate how much power they use, and design your energy system around that data. An oversized system is expensive, an undersized one is frustrating. Energy independence isn't about having unlimited power, it's about having enough of it, reliably and sustainably, to meet your real needs while maintaining the freedom that off-grid living promises. Water is a non-negotiable priority when living off the grid, and securing a consistent, clean source is vital for survival and self-sufficiency. Unlike city living, where water flows at the turn of a tap, off-grid life requires planning, infrastructure, and constant awareness of water availability and quality. The first step is identifying your water source. The most reliable option is a natural spring, but not everyone has access to one. Wells are a common solution, though drilling can be costly and requires permits in some areas. Rainwater harvesting is another effective method and can be surprisingly efficient if designed correctly. Large collection barrels, gutter systems, and storage tanks allow you to capture and store rainwater during wet seasons for use during dry spells. Regardless of your source, water must be purified. Untreated water can carry bacteria, viruses, and parasites that can make you seriously ill. Filtration systems, whether ceramic, carbon, or UV, are essential. Boiling is a reliable backup method. Investing in a multi-stage filtration and purification setup provides peace of mind and long-term security. Equally important is managing your water wisely. Wastewater should be recycled when possible. Gray water from sinks, showers, and laundry can be redirected to irrigate gardens or flush toilets. Black water from toilets must be handled carefully, often through composting toilets or septic systems. You'll also need to think seasonally. In winter, pipes and tanks can freeze, so proper insulation is necessary. In dry summers, rationing becomes crucial. Off-grid living teaches you that water isn't just a convenience, it's life. Managing it with respect, creativity, and diligence ensures your independence doesn't come at the cost of health or comfort. Clean water is freedom, and securing it should be one of your first and most serious steps toward off-grid living. Energy independence is a cornerstone of off-grid living, and setting up a reliable power system is crucial to maintaining a self-sufficient lifestyle. Unlike being tied to the grid, where energy is always available at the flip of a switch, living off the grid requires planning, investment, and maintenance to ensure you have enough power for your essential needs year-round. Solar power is the most popular option for off-grid energy. It's renewable, silent, and increasingly affordable. A proper solar system includes panels, a charge controller, deep cycle batteries for storage, and an inverter to convert the stored energy into usable electricity. However, solar depends on sun exposure, so it's important to calculate your daily energy needs and install a system that can meet them, even during cloudy days or winter months. For backup or in areas with limited sunlight, wind turbines or micro-hydro systems can be excellent supplemental sources. Wind energy works well in open areas with consistent breezes, while micro-hydro power is ideal if you have access to a flowing stream or river. Many off-gridders combine two or more systems to create redundancy and balance out the limitations of each. Energy conservation is just as important as production. Using energy-efficient appliances, LED lighting, and minimizing phantom loads helps stretch your power. Living off-grid often means adapting habits, like doing laundry during sunny hours or cooking with propane instead of electricity. Backup generators, usually gasoline, propane, or diesel-powered, are essential for emergencies or heavy usage periods. However, fuel must be stored safely and used sparingly. Ultimately, off-grid energy is about control, producing what you need, storing it wisely, and using it efficiently. Mastering your energy system doesn't just keep the lights on, it empowers you with true independence, free from rising utility bills or sudden outages. Water is one of the most essential elements of survival, and when living off the grid, securing a clean and sustainable water source is absolutely non-negotiable. Without access to municipal water systems, you must take full responsibility for sourcing, collecting, filtering, and storing water that is safe for daily use, drinking, cooking, cleaning, and farming. The first step is identifying a reliable water source. Common off-grid options include wells, springs, rainwater catchment systems, and nearby streams or lakes. A professionally drilled well is often the most dependable, offering year-round access to groundwater. However, drilling a well can be expensive and may require permits depending on your location. Rainwater harvesting is another highly effective method, especially in areas with regular rainfall. This involves collecting rain from your roof using gutters and storing it in large barrels or cisterns. To make this water safe for consumption, a multilayer filtration and purification system is essential, starting with mesh screens to remove debris, followed by sediment filters, carbon filters, and UV or chemical treatment to eliminate pathogens. Natural surface water, like streams and ponds, can also be used but must always be filtered and purified. Contamination from animals or upstream pollutants is a serious concern. A portable water filter, boiling, or adding purification tablets are critical steps before use. Storing water properly is equally important. Large food-grade containers or underground cisterns can keep reserves clean and protected from light, heat, and contamination. It's wise to have both long-term storage and short-term daily access. Finally, consider your daily water usage and look for ways to reduce waste. Low-flow faucets, gray water recycling systems, and mindfulness in consumption help preserve your supply. Water is life off-grid, and treating it with the respect it deserves ensures long-term independence and safety. When living off the grid, waste management becomes your personal responsibility, and it's one of the most overlooked yet vital components of sustainable living. Without access to municipal garbage collection or sewage systems, you must implement a system that is both environmentally friendly and efficient, ensuring that your off-grid lifestyle remains healthy and hygienic. Human waste disposal is the first major concern. One of the most practical solutions is a composting toilet. These systems break down waste using aerobic bacteria, turning it into compost over time. They require no plumbing and use little to no water, making them ideal for remote locations. Proper ventilation and regular maintenance are essential to avoid odors and ensure safety. Another alternative is a septic system, though it requires more space and a higher upfront investment. For food and organic waste, composting is your best friend. Building a compost pile or using a composting bin allows you to recycle kitchen scraps, garden clippings, and biodegradable waste into rich, usable soil. The key is to balance green materials like vegetable peels with brown materials like dried leaves or cardboard, and to regularly turn the pile to aid decomposition. Non-organic waste like plastic, glass, and metal must be minimized and managed carefully. Avoid buying items with excessive packaging and reuse or repurpose materials as much as possible. For example, glass jars can become storage containers, and metal cans can be used in DIY projects. A dedicated recycling area can help you sort and store items until they can be transported to a recycling center. Burning trash might seem like a convenient option, but it can release toxic fumes and harm the environment if done improperly. Instead, focus on reducing waste at the source, reusing what you can, and responsibly disposing of the rest. Effective waste management keeps your off-grid homestead clean, sustainable, and safe for long-term living. Living off the grid requires not just technical know-how, but also a mindset shift towards self-reliance and mental resilience. The romanticized version of off-grid living often overlooks the psychological challenges involved: isolation, unpredictability, and the constant need to solve problems independently. Mental preparation is just as crucial as physical preparation. When you live without the safety net of modern infrastructure, you must develop a strong mental toolkit. Start by cultivating adaptability. Things will go wrong, weather can destroy your garden, tools can break, and plans often change with little warning. Being able to stay calm, reassess, and adapt quickly is the difference between failure and survival. Discipline is another cornerstone. Off-grid life demands routine and consistency. You'll need to wake up early to tend to animals, manage your energy use, maintain your shelter, and constantly monitor supplies like water and firewood. There's no one else to pick up the slack, so motivation has to come from within. It helps to set goals both daily and long-term to keep yourself focused and grounded. Loneliness is a real concern, especially if you're living solo or in a remote area. Building mental resilience involves not only being comfortable with solitude, but also actively cultivating emotional wellness. Journaling, meditating, or even maintaining radio contact with others can go a long way in maintaining morale. For couples or families, communication becomes the key to avoiding conflict under stress. Lastly, always stay in learning mode. Read books, watch tutorials, and continuously build your skills. A growth mindset ensures you're always improving, which reinforces confidence and self-sufficiency. Mental preparation isn't about having all the answers up front. It's about being ready to face whatever comes with grit, grace, and a problem-solving attitude. In off-grid life, your mind is your most powerful survival tool.